What's up guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you guys how we make our ground beef enchiladas at the campsite. Ground beef enchiladas are super easy, they're super delicious. I don't know if you've ever thought about making them while you're camping, but they're easy to make. I'm going to utilize our Blackstone griddle. I'm going to utilize our Traeger. This is just a way that we like to do it. I'm going to brown the meat on the Blackstone, and then once we get our enchiladas all wrapped up, they're going to go in our cast iron skillet, and then we're going to put them on the Traeger to get the cheese melted on top and get the sauce all combined with your enchiladas. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to showing you guys how we do this.
Yep.
So for starters, we're going to get our griddle nice and hot. Put a little bit of olive oil on here. Doesn't take much. So what we're going to be using to make our ground beef enchiladas, we got our meat. This is about 1.5 pounds of 90-10 ground beef. I like to use a little bit leaner ground beef for these because when you're browning it, there's just less grease, makes a little bit less of a mess. So 90-10 ground beef. You're going to need either 2 of the small cans of the red enchilada sauce or 1 of the larger cans. The seasoning I like to use is the Weber Steak and Chop seasoning on the ground beef, along with some ground cumin. We're going to top that with some Colby Jack shredded cheese.
Yum.
And then of course we have our tortilla shells that we're going to wrap it all up in. So you've got our griddle on medium-high heat. I like to get this thing really nice and hot before we put our ground beef on there. Ground beef goes on. And then once we get it spread out, before it really starts to get brown, we're going to add our seasoning to it. You'll see I use a generous amount of seasoning on this. A lot of that's going to cook off as you brown the meat. Generous amount of cumin.
Yum.
Smelling good already.
Yeah, I can smell it.
Now we're just going to get this meat all browned up.
I'm getting hungry already and it's only 5 o'clock.
Ground beef enchiladas are one of Dylan's favorite meals.
My favorite.
So he's going to oversee me and make sure that I do these to his specifications. Now obviously if you don't have a griddle, you can do the same thing in a pan inside. Just got to get the meat browned. But this process is going to be the same whether you're cooking them inside on a stovetop or if you're outside on a griddle. It's the same process. So we use about 1.5 pounds of ground beef to make 6 enchiladas. So you can kind of adjust it accordingly from there. Next thing we're going to do is open up our can of enchilada sauce.
Yum.
And then we're just going to add some enchilada sauce right to the top of our ground beef. We're going to use just about a whole can on this. There's a little bit left in there, but almost the whole can. While that's cooking, we're going to add some cheese to the mixture. Some cheese on top.
Yum.
Now at this point, you go ahead and shut your griddle off, or if you're cooking on the stovetop, go ahead and turn the heat off, because now all you're trying to do is combine this. You don't really have to cook anything from here. You're just wanting to combine this all together and get this nice mixture that has a mixture of enchilada sauce and cheese. So that's the nice thing about using the 90-10 lean ground beef, is that you don't have a lot of grease here that's going to drain off. Pretty much, if you're using a fattier ground beef, you're going to have a lot of grease on here, so you're going to have to kind of pull your meat to the side, make sure you get your grease out of it. But all right, so there we go. So that's basically going to be, that is going to be our enchilada mix that's going to go inside the tortilla shells. Smelling good. So now we're going to start forming up our enchiladas. Put this in tortilla shells. I'll show you how we wrap them, and then we're going to go straight in to our cast iron skillet. Tortilla shell down, and then you're just going to scoop some of your mixture right into the middle of your tortilla shell. And now to roll it, I'm going to take the ends, you're going to go over, all the way over this way, push with your fingers, and roll it up tight. And there you go. That's going to be your first enchilada.
Yummy.
He's going to go in the pan, right in the center of the pan. Mixture. Ends go over this way. Tuck it in. Roll it. Number 2. The tighter you roll these, the better they'll stay together. Don't go too tight though, because you'll break your shell. Right. So, now we've got all 6 enchiladas. Now we are going to put the rest of our enchilada sauce on top of them. Finish off that can. And make sure to get them covered in sauce. And now, just going to top all of them with cheese. More cheese on top.
Yum.
Another nice thing is when you get all done with this, all you have is a Blackstone to clean up, 1 cast iron skillet, which is extremely easy to clean, so it's makes for a pretty simple meal, and they always turn out awesome. Right. Once you've got them all prepared inside the cast iron skillet, I'm going to take this straight over to the Traeger. We've got our Traeger set at 300 degrees. It's going to go straight on the Traeger. So we're going to cook these for 15 to 20 minutes. I'll check them at 15. If everything looks good, I'll go ahead and pull them. If I like the cheese to be a little more melted, then I'll go ahead and let them go another 5 minutes. But 15 to 20 minutes at 300 degrees, and that's it. It doesn't get much simpler than that. You can see, while I was waiting for my grill to heat up, I've got the griddle all cleaned back up. So the griddle's clean. Just gotta wipe it down with a layer of olive oil, and it's done. And all I'll have is a cast iron skillet to clean up when we're done. So it doesn't get a whole lot easier than this. And then when these things are done, I'll show you what they look like. All right, it's been just over 15 minutes. Check them out. Bam, there you go. And that's what you're looking for. As long as all your cheese is nice and melted good, you should be good to go. You know, at 300 degrees, you can cook them for a little bit longer if you want, but really there's no need to. Getting ready to pull these off, but you can actually do this on your stovetop and in an oven. You know, as long as you can brown the meat, roll up your enchiladas, you can put them in a casserole dish, put the sauce on top, put them in the oven. Same thing that we did here. We just did all of our cooking outside since we're here at the campground. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Try this. You're gonna love them. If you like enchiladas, you're definitely gonna love them.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road. Ooh, it's hungry.
Man.